Sinking in the city, the shitty pity. The city's slowly beating itself, leading itself, bleeding itself. Something's leaking in the city, reeking of death, choking the breath, invoking the wretch, seeping into the cracks of every step. Every step is further into depth, further into death. Death for the stains that are left from the blood that we bleed from the cuts on our feet, from the teeth of the rats on the street. And every single steps that we take, further into death of the city as it suffocates, as it suffocates itself. It's a suicidal city, such a pity, such a shitty city. Tough titty, suck it up, suck it down, suck it dry, cry it out. Cause the sky, it's a rain's mud, it's a rain's blood, it's a rain's tears. The city only keeps crying harder and harder. The city just keeps crying harder, and it drains into the river, and it drains into the sea, and it washes to the beaches and the rocks and the reefs, and it's spreading like a cancer. So the city's gotta die, and the city knows this, cause it's old and it's wise, and it cries as it tries to commit suicide. And the rats are all drowning as the blood streams rise, and they flow into the river, and it flows into the sea, and the whole world cries for the city as it bleeds. And us Walking Dead, we sing, suck it down, drink it dry, cry it out. Curse the sky as it rains mud, as it rains blood, as it rains tears. The city only keeps crying harder and harder. The city keeps crying and crying, and it drains into the river, and it drains into the sea, and it washes to the beaches and the rocks and the reefs, and it's spreading like a cancer. So the city's gotta die, and it cries as it tries to commit suicide. And the walls are cracked and they're black with the mold that is growing in our lungs as we fold under the weight of the bricks that are falling on our backs. We're crawling on the streets with the rats and the tanks that are rolling on our heads, the tanks that are driven by the ranks of the dead that died by the sword of the city, by the lords of the city. They're the slaves of the city, they too sink in the city committing homicide and suicide, infecting all who come inside the world, toppling, imploding, self-sacrificial metropolitan offering. Us Walking Dead, we sing, suck it down, drink it dry, cry it out. Curse the sky as it rains blood, as it rains blood, as it rains tears. The city keeps crying and crying. Everybody in the city can only keep crying, and it drains into the river, and it drains into the sea, and it washes to the beaches and the rocks and the reefs, and it's spreading like a cancer. So the city's gotta die, and it cries as it tries to commit suicide.